Thanks, Kate. Let's go right back to Springfield City Hall, where the mayor of Springfield, Domenic Sarno, is holding a news conference on public safety.
Deputy, do you want to come up, Dep? Billy? Tommy? Thank you very much for being here. This morning I've assembled a team. We've been in constant communication pertaining to the gunplay that has occurred in the Mason Square area neighborhood and subsequently adjacent to the AIC and Springfield College areas. I've been in constant communication with Commissioner Barbieri and his team, and again, spoke with Colonel Tim earlier this morning. We have a great relationship with the state police. I have been in contact a number of times with President Vince Miniacci of AIC, who was here and will be speaking, and Chief Kumaski, who was also here, and also President Mary Beth Cooper of Springfield College, and Chief Sullivan with our law enforcement officials. These incidents that have occurred are making sure that we're going to have a full court press moving forward, and that means that there's going to be an aggressive approach, whether it's DDACs, field interviews, and targeted stops that are going to occur, and this is for the safety of the neighborhood and not only the college campuses. This builds upon the hub and core C3 policing in which we're engaging our neighborhoods, and they are coming forth with information which is very, very important. Myself and Commissioner Barbieri will be visiting AIC campus tomorrow, and also have worked with President Miniacci to address a letter to the students and the families. State police will also, besides the C3 policing, the CAT team will continue to be activated, and I think it's extremely important as we work with all our federal and state law enforcement officials. Today I am joined by Julia Cowley, who is the supervising lead agent of the FBI. I had ATF, we had ATF officials in the meeting earlier, DEA, Jimmy Clifford, who's always been invaluable, Captain Steve Cowan of the state police will be speaking, and obviously President Vince Miniacci from AIC, and Councilor Tom Ash, friend and colleague and ally when the chair of public health and safety. The message will continue to go out on the neighborhood approach, which is led very well with my Chief of Staff Denise Jordan and Darrell Moss, D. Moss, and Deputy Cochran of the Police Department heads up this activity. A couple of arrests have been made. Residents have indicated that the police are all over the place in that area, and we want to make sure to reassure not only the neighborhood area but the college area that a full court press is going to be taking place. And I look upon this as that this could also be saving some of these young people's lives with this gunplay and loosely fitting street gangs that are out there. And the cooperation of the neighborhood area is extremely important. But we get to this point in time, not going to tolerate it. We're going to be ever vigilant when it comes on our public safety attack to let the residents of the neighborhood and the college community know that they're going to be safe. So you're going to continue to see high-profile type tactics and activities going on, and some that are clandestine. And this is all for the goodness of the neighborhood areas of our city, Mason Square, and also to continue to enhance AIC and Springfield College. At this point in time, I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Barbieri. He will give you an update, then we'll have a number of other speakers on our continued attack, that this will not be tolerated, and we will catch these perpetrators, and then we are very hopeful that the court system will keep them locked up and put away for quite a while. That's what our Springfield residents deserve, that's what they're going to get, and that's what our college families deserve and that's what they're going to get. Commissioner John Barbieri.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. We've seen a recent uptick in violence in the neighborhood in the Mason Square, Bay Street area. It's an ongoing dispute between some criminally organized posses that have a long blood feud against each other, sparked by a recent homicide in Hartford. We started to ramp up enforcement in the area about 4 weeks ago after that homicide because it was a Springfield victim with a potential Springfield suspect. As you know, we've made numerous arrests in the Bay Street area in regards to this blood feud that's continued for years. We've been greatly supported by other members of the mayor's team, code enforcement, the law department, fire inspectors, to address persons and addresses in those neighborhoods that are dangerous. We've been ably supported by our partners in law enforcement, state and federal, that have assisted us with some of the long-term investigations. And they take time, but they are really effective in that they target the leaders of those organizations. And they look at significant jail time for their involvement. In the short term, it's hard for us to address causation. It's hard for us to arrest our way out of a problem, but we're going to work on arresting and interdicting in those prolific offenders that exist in those neighborhoods that continue to carry guns, continue to be involved in drug violence, that are willing to shoot other people for perceived lack of respect. We've directed a good deal of on-duty and overtime patrols into those neighborhoods based on analytical data to times and days of week that the incidents are occurring. Our Narcotics Bureau focusing on those neighborhoods. Our state and local and federal partners are concentrated on law enforcement efforts. And then we're trying to address long-term causation through safety policing and the hub models to work with community members in those neighborhoods. I'm just going to stress again, it is not zero tolerance. 99% of the folks that live in these neighborhoods are law-abiding, decent people. It's the 1% in that neighborhood that we're attempting to address. Those are the people that we stop for field interviews. Those are the people that we attempt to arrest if they're committing crimes. It's prolific offenders, the gang-involved, gun-carrying members of those neighborhoods that refuse to change. What we need is community cooperation. There are people that know that these people are the prolific offenders, that they carry firearms, that they have a tendency towards violence. There are relatives, there are friends. Before the tragedy occurs, we need them to call 911. Would they prefer that their loved ones spend the rest of their life in jail, suffer severe, life-changing injuries, or perhaps be a murder victim? We need the neighborhood residents in that neighborhood to know that we're out there in force and that a 911 call will result in a rapid response and follow-up action by the police. Please do not wait for an incident to occur. If you see someone carrying a weapon, if you see an altercation beginning to occur, call 911 and give us as much opportunity to intervene as possible. If you don't want to call 911 and be involved directly, please give us a text-a-tip. It's a community that keeps the neighborhood safe. We're there to support the community residents. We want to work with all the profit and nonprofit agencies to address long-term change in those neighborhoods. In the short term, we're going to be up there in extreme presence, and we're going to try to interdict in those people that just refuse to change. If you're carrying a gun, if you're involved in a criminally organized gang, prepare to be met by police officers, prepare to be arrested if you commit a crime, and understand that your potential to become a victim of a crime is influenced by the people you hang around with and the lifestyle you lead.
Thank you, Commissioner, very much.
Thank you, boss.
And again, with the Commissioner reiterate, the neighborhood and community support is essential. We need you to stand with us and the law enforcement officials, marches and protests against these shootings, much more welcomed than some of the recent incidents that we have seen being put forth. Text-a-tip, I want to let people know, anonymously again, you text SOLVE, S-O-L-V-E, plus the message, to 274637 on your cell phone, and that's important for the media to get out there. Now, we've had a great collaboration for many, many years with the state police, which is headed by our friend Tim Albin, the colonel, and Steve Godwin is here from the state police, and he will indicate what we are going to continue to do in collaboration with State Police and our Springfield Police Department. Steve? Thank you.
Mayor.
Thank you.
Colonel Albert spoke with the mayor and the commissioner this morning and continued our support with the Springfield Police Department. We have the C3 policing team that's working in conjunction with the Springfield Police Department, and I'll echo that community involvement is paramount. These crimes don't get solved without your help. We'll implement the CAT teams. We'll start to focus within the Mason Square area. Our state police narcotics and gang units and detectives will be assisting and working in conjunction with Commissioner Barbieri and the Springfield Police Department.
Thank you, Captain, very much. We're also joining, it's great to have her on board, Julia A. Cowley, who is the supervising special agent of the FBI, and a great partnership with the city, working together with the federal authorities and using their full breadth of force and authority. So, Supervising Agent Cowley, please. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I just want to say a few words about the FBI and what we're doing to help. We have the Western Massachusetts Gang Task Force, which is a collaborative task force, and we're looking at the long-term problems of violence in the city. We work very closely with the Springfield Police Department as well as other police departments in our surrounding area. That's our long term, and these investigations do take a long time, and we are trying to target the most prolific, the most violent offenders, the leaders of these groups. We also continue to support the Springfield Police Department in their anti-crime efforts, so some of the more short-term investigations. The other thing I'd like to say about the Commissioner and the Mayor as far as the C3 policing initiative, that is a very innovative initiative, but it's also a very long-term process, because that process is built on trust and between the community and the police department. And we're seeing a great involvement with the community. They're starting to trust and get to know the officers, and they're calling in. And we want you to continue to do that, because it is the only way that we can police and come together as a community and solve these problems. And we continue again in thanking the community for all your calls, for all your help. Please don't stop. You're making a difference. And if you need anything, just pick up the phone and call your local officers. You're getting to know their names, and they're there for you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Agent Cowley.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. I'm now going to have City Councilor and Chairman of Public Health and Safety, Tom Ash, say a few words, and my Chief of Staff, Denise Jordan, on the community outreach. And then I'm going to close with, which is very, very important. I deeply appreciate President Vince Miniacci being here, and Chief Dave Komeski, who's also here, on their efforts as we continue to partner. So I'll turn that now over to City Councilor Tom Ash. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mayor, I think we all recognize and appreciate that these events recently have had a significant effect on not only our neighborhoods, but obviously on our partners at the colleges, the American International and Springfield College. And to follow up on a comment by Commissioner Barbieri, it's shameful and it's unfortunate that the acts by a few affect the lives of and the livelihoods of so many. So the City Council certainly stands, Your Honor, at the ready to provide any kind of support that you need. So.
Thank you, Tom, very much. My Chief of Staff, Denise Jordan, again with Darrell Moss, have been instrumental in the community engagement and continuing to cultivate that and enhance that. Denise Jordan.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to echo the sentiments of law enforcement. We really need the community, the residents, to step up and be a part of this process. We have meetings that occur every single Tuesday at 11 o'clock at the Mason Square Library, and the second Tuesday of the month at 11 o'clock at the Deb Hunt Center on Catherine Street. We really want neighbors to come out and let us know what's going on and find out how they can be a help in this process. Without the residents, we cannot be successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. And again, President Vince Miniacci, who's done a tremendous job with American International College, and the Chief are here. And with that, I'll turn it over to President Miniacci.
Thank you, Mayor Sarno. Thank you, Mayor Sarno. I'd like to say that the gang violence in our community has been both endemic and pervasive. The safety of our students continues to be one of our main points of emphasis. I will tell you that we are pleased and gratified by the collaborative efforts and the cooperation we've had from both Mayor Sarno and the police commissioner. They've done a lot. They've been in constant communication with us. They're willing to come out to our campus tomorrow to speak to our students and talk to them about the things that we're doing to continue their safety on campus. These are serious issues, and certainly we focus on educating our students, but we need to do that in a safe atmosphere that allows them to do better and to surge ahead with their academics knowing that they're safe. Again, we have great trust and confidence with the city, and we expect that the C3 initiative will have a great impact on us going forward. So we thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. We appreciate you being here. If you might have a couple comments or questions, we'll take that. If not, we appreciate you getting the message out there that, again, it's 99% of the residents of the city of Springfield, no matter what creed, color, or background, are fantastic people and fantastic families. As Commissioner Barberi had indicated, it takes that less than 1% that want to continue to perpetrate.
Okay, you've been
this
listening
negative
to a news
activity.
conference at Springfield City Hall hosted by the Mayor of Springfield, Domenic Sarno. He said there's a full court press being taken by police in the Mason Square neighborhood. They will not tolerate the violence that's happening there right now in and around the campuses of AIC and Springfield College. Also, Springfield Police Commissioner John Barberi said it's really described as a blood feud that has started and was connected to a recent homicide in Hartford. He says it's mostly gang members who are carrying guns, and this needs to stop. He asked for the community to get involved because a community is what keeps a neighborhood safe. We'll continue to follow the story. We'll have a complete wrap-up tonight on 22 News starting at 5.